What is going on, All-Terrain Nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or that EV that I don't know if anybody wants to drive, but we'll find out tonight. This is your All-Terrain Nation, and I'm your host, David Boyd. So what is going on? Man, it is lightning time, man, and what a proper name for this this amazing Ford truck, and we're going to learn more about it today. I've purposely not read into anything. I know CNBC actually spilled the news and broke the embargo on this thing, which they will get their hands slapped about. But I didn't even want to go over there and get into any of that news because I want to do this with you guys. So if you guys we'll learn together about these EV trucks because it is EV trucks are a crazy thing. And if you're watching this stream tonight, you're probably interested in the EV trucks, but we are 27 minutes from the Ford's reveal of this thing. And I'm kind of excited. Ford sometimes does a great reveal. And then sometimes it's like, meh, I don't know. What's up, Frank B, moderator extraordinaire? Oh man, I need to do a little test here real quick while I've got y'all's attention. So let's do this. I'm going to play something, a video, and I'm hoping you can hear it. Let me know if you guys can hear that. It looks like it's playing through all right. Frank B, if you can hear that, please let me know. It is Ford night here. What is up, Kevin Monet, Nissan extraordinaire? But if you guys can hear the audio, please let me know if you can or not. What's up, John Walsh? Be sure to smash that like button, guys. I would tell you what I'm drinking if you would answer my question, if y'all can hear this or not. Here we go. All right, we're back, and I don't know. Could y'all hear? You heard the? Not me, John. Can you hear the ad that was playing, or the music that I had playing? I don't know that I transitioned. We're going through YouTube together here. Let's do this one more time. Make sure y'all can. I want to make sure that y'all can hear the sound of this. I am drinking Bullet Bourbon tonight. So y'all hear that mean V8 there, or whatever that is? All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for letting me know on that. And because I didn't want to screw up I don't want to screw up the big night. And you guys know I'm prone to screw up things from time to time. So as my buddy Tim Estrathal likes to poke fun at me about every once in a while. And then Tim's streams get a little crazy at times. So anyways. But John Walsh, Frank B, what is going on, guys? So EV vehicles, obviously, with Tesla being around for, a little over 10 years now, as far as a practical, the S model being out for that long. Where do y'all stand with an electric truck? Now, we've seen all the goofy ones, be it Atlas or Rivian or my personal favorite, Canoe. Are you guys excited about it? I mean, the president got to drive this thing yesterday, and he said that the 0 to 60 time is 4.4 seconds, which I'm a little I don't know how to feel about 0 to 60 times in an EV thing anymore. Like EVs, yes, it's amazing. It's torque on demand. It's super fast, but are we going to get to the point on some of these things where it is, I'm at 2.76549 seconds, and like you start measuring the hundred thousandths of a second? I do too. I love the Canoe truck, John, and I am you can put deposits down on them now, and I may put a deposit down on one of those. The Canoe truck worries me just a little bit, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But I think me and Danny were talking about this one day. Where are we at with electric vehicles anymore? At some point, performance is going to be nil. Like everybody's going to be under 3 seconds. So, full-size truck, I don't need to potentially give my child to run to the store my 4-second pickup truck. And knowing all the tech in these things now, I'm pretty sure that you can limit things. But in a pickup truck, 0 to 60s just don't matter to me like I feel like they used to. Let's see. Anyways, but let's see. John says I'm thinking about putting down a deposit too. Yeah, the only thing, John, with the canoe that bothers me is they really haven't given us an idea of what the final price is going to be on one of those. So it's $100 deposit on the canoe, and I like the canoe a lot. By the way, I think that is the coolest looking EV. The Tesla Cybertruck looks pretty freaking rad. I don't know how practical that will be at the end of the day, and Tesla doesn't care about that for what that thing's going to cost. But canoe looks really, really practical. But right now they're only saying 200 plus miles per charge, so I need more than that. Now, I think once again, I've not read anything about the truck, the Lightning, on purpose. I know there was a lot of leak stuff come out the past 2 days. I want to see Ford's. This is my reaction to it, and you guys play along with me. You'll see it on the screen just as I do. I am obviously GM and everybody said they're going to do this. Now Ford, what was it, over a year ago is when they towed the train, that's a stupid. It looks like really cool, but it's not anything to be like wowed about. Dog breath and your Nissan questions, man. But GM's going to do this. The Silverado's about to be EV. We got a bunch of cool trucks about to come out. We got the Toyota Tundra is about to drop, and I think next week or so. Don't quote me on that. Toyota's been teasing the fire out of that, so that's going to be a fun reveal, which I will do here as long as they do a live stream. We will do it here. I'm still up in the air whether I'm going to go to the Chicago Auto Show, though I would probably get to see some of these in person. Oh, my chat box is messed up. Let's get that chat box fixed up there. There we go. But depending on where you guys want the channel to go, first covering this stuff. Now, EVs is also kind of weird because there's EV and then there's normal aspirated engine people. What I'm seeing in videos and stuff, they don't like. Ford is going to cater to the computer crowd on this. I guarantee you're going to see a bunch of the 4 million plus sub computer channels get firsthand at this. They're going to walk all around and talk about all the cool tech. They're not going to let car people on top of this just yet, but let's see. B. Warren says Ford is watering down their brand, equally Mustang and Lightning, in place of bringing eyes to the EV vehicles. It's a risky move. It's a long term. Yeah, any of these EVs are a risky move. Obviously, you can see the picture that the White House put out the other day, I think by accident. Well, I won't say it's by accident because in this picture, the president's sitting out in front of it. But the development of the underpinning of this thing, from what I can see of the top, it looks pretty much F-150 like. But the underpinning of this is all where the money is spent on these things. And obviously, Ford's proven with the Mach-E they can do EV. Nissan with the Leaf proved that they could do EV when Tesla was still trying to kind of get their feet in the ground. Nissan had a big chance to take the lead on a lot of this stuff because they knew how to mass produce things and just for whatever reason didn't. Nissan, even with their autonomous driving, they're way ahead of everybody. They just don't release this stuff. But Tesla kind of has owned EV. Tesla is the BMW, the Mercedes of EVs. There's snob appeal with Tesla, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's the kind of vehicle you want to drive. But now you're getting into the blue collar companies, your blue chip guys that are starting to they realize they need to get into the EV game. But the only thing that bothers me so far that I'm seeing about this is all these companies going, they're trying to outdo each other. By 2025 now, Lamborghini, I think it's 2024. Lamborghini said they're no longer making aspirated engines. They're getting out of the fuel game, which it's whatever on that. But these blue chip guys now with everybody, Ram better get with it. Stellantis, or however you say their damn name, is they better get with it. Of course, that company's been even though the Ram's the second best selling truck now, they got to they're kind of tipping their toes in it with the Jeep a little bit, the 4X or whatever it's called. That actually my dealer had a couple of those that I looked at when I picked up a Gladiator. And if you guys have any questions about the Gladiator, go ahead and pop in because for those that don't know, I picked up a Gladiator last week and we surprised the channel with it here. And I'm kind of trolling this a little bit, but I'm excited about this truck. I've been wearing Bronco. I've been wearing oh dude. Deposit on my EV F-150. No, I don't think there's going to be EV F-150. The only way there'll be one of those is Kevin, if Ford lets me have one for a week. But I don't see me in an EV because the Canoe's my vehicle of choice right now. What is? And speaking of that, what is as we got a few more jumping in here? What is your vehicle of choice when it comes to electric? What out of all of them, there has to be one. Even the hardcore V8 dude, there has to be one that kind of gets your attention a little bit. And I was saying earlier that to me, like Canoe, it's just quirky enough, and it's a unique design, and I think it's actually a very good aerodynamic design for a pickup. I like how much room you get in the cargo room and all that for that, and it's very versatile. Or is it the idea of these the Lightning coming out? Will that get your attention? Or is it the Jeep electric that they're trying to do? Though I call that a hybrid. That's not an electric vehicle, a pure electric. Or is it Cybertruck? What are the ones, or Rivian? What are the ones that kind of get your attention and makes you more interested in the EV tech? And we are 16 minutes away from the Lightning reveal, by the way. Cheers, everybody. But, Kevin, I think I'm going to need a larger super chat than that, buddy. But and speaking of that, super chats are always appreciated. It goes towards all the fun things we will either do with the Bronco, Jeep, or potential mid-sized truck that may be in the driveway this fall. So, you never know what the channel can do. But with your help and your support, we can do a lot of things. So I do appreciate that. We have a Patreon. It's in the description if you like to help out that way. But that's enough of Dave begging for money. Begging for money was brought to you by Bullet Bourbon. When you need a smooth bourbon, go Bullet. Ah, man. So tasty tonight. It's been a while since I've got to talk to everybody, too, so I'm kind of excited. For those that are maybe new to the channel, we do every Friday night. We do a live Q&A, or we find a topic to discuss, much like this, and maybe a little more prepared. But we try to do something fun every Friday night. But my past couple of Fridays have been screwed up due to I'm also a softball coach for my daughter's softball team, and as it be, we've had a lot of Friday games here lately, so I apologize for that. But I do try to make it up to you maybe on a Saturday morning, something like that. I'm a man of the people, man. I got to connect with you guys. But so there's nobody has an EV truck right now or anything, car or whatever, motorcycle, that kind of makes you interested more in EV tech. I will say in 2009 when well, I guess it was 2008 when Nissan was bringing out the Leaf and started talking about it. I had plans back then to have a Leaf. Now, the mileage was like 90 miles per charge. For then, it was probably great, but I wanted to use it as my daily back and forth to work car, and then the economy crashed, and it killed that dream. But so I've followed EV, but just not. I'm not a heavy EV nerd about this stuff. It is very interesting to me, but what I've seen of this thing, though, that front end is like, I don't know. I don't know about the front end, and I think that's good as far as like getting more people on board with EVs. Manufacturers either need to stop making the front grille look like a front grille. I know why they do it, because they don't want to scare the older, my generation maybe, I don't know. They don't want to scare people away from the classic car designs, but at the same point, they also do not, they don't need the grille. So let's see. Kevin says, I like those EVs you and Danny showed us last month. I don't remember the names. Yes, it was the Canoe. And let's see. We're 13 minutes away. I will bring up that Canoe because I like that thing. Canoe.com. Let's hear it. This one here, I don't have the full screen up, and I don't want to tamper with anything. But I like this thing a lot for as EV. I like I love that, whether you get all the LED in the bed or not. I like the steering wheel the way it is. It almost looks like the steering wheel could be instantly pushed to left or right side drive. The back of this thing, look at all the charging ports there. It looks really, really cool. Where we at here? Oh, that's the back of it. That's the LED in the back of the thing. It looks like you could get a lot of light. And I know the bed does a lot of cool things too. Look at all those charging ports in the bed. Out front. That's crazy. And a lot of space. And then they're doing the Amazon style vans, which this looks straight out of Terminator or something, man. This looks crazy. But I'm back and forth on the Canoo as far as do I put the deposit down. But who was it? Who was saying they were saying 35,000 for the van? Is that what we came up with? It was never super clear, and I actually tweeted at Canoo about that because I was curious about it. So it looks like there's my pickup truck right there. Look at that thing. I even like the little Canoo, the van. Looks like they got a little car coming and the platform. The cool thing I know that this company's working on is that underpinning that you can't see in the picture right now goes under everything they do. So very simplified. If they just get their battery tech going a little bit better. But you can see this is their Instagram here. See some of the fun things they are doing. There were a couple others. Well, there's that one brand that we were making fun of, Kevin, that had ripped off the Titan. They'd taken a Titan image and was trying to shove it EV under it. Was very poorly computer generated, but I really do like this stuff, man, and all-wheel drive. But the thing that concerns me, like everything, is, and we're 11 minutes away, by the way. The thing that concerns me with a lot of this stuff, and actually, so Jay in the Canoo, is that the one you're talking about? Because I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen. I usually am subscribed to Jay Leno. I don't know if it's on his CNBC version of that show or if it's just his Jay Leno's Garage on his own channel. Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought there. I better have another drink. There's some EV motorcycles that I've actually been paying attention to as well, but the problem with EV motorcycles is they're rated at like 60 miles or something right now, and obviously there's not a lot of place to put batteries in that. But you know, I used to watch a lot of Casey Neistat, and he had a little electric skateboard that he was always on that I was curious about, but I don't live in a big town where I could take advantage of that. But I could see that for if you were in New York City or one of the bigger towns that you might want to take advantage of that. But the EV tech, man, is exciting. Now, when you start breaking down, and I'm sure Ford's going to preach this about their range and all that, those have to be optimal conditions for a lot of their range that these guys do. And I know GM said the Silverado should be a 400-mile range. I expect this Lightning to be a 400-mile range plus. I think that that's the biggest key, because I know in the real world on a construction site, there's a lot of idle time on gasoline engines and a lot of air conditioned time. There's a lot of things that do not make them practical right now. That maybe solar tech on some of this too can get where you can get so much more out of smaller panels, where the roofs of these could be more panels and maybe operate AC units, stuff like that, while you don't pull from the main battery. It goes in where they make it and had a police escort. Oh wow, I'll have to check that out. Definitely gonna have to check that out. Thank you, Ashley. But I think you know, the infrastructure right now as well. Everybody's pushing to go hard at EV, but even Elon Musk has said that it's not there. Like they need better sources of energy right now, and that's not exactly you know, the current situation's not there. I think our country for that stuff is we have to revamp it, and I think the best way, though it used to be a nasty word, is nuclear energy for that. I think the outsourcing of energy that it produces is where we need to be with that. Though, you know, it's thought of as not super green, though it actually, when done properly, you know, they've learned how to reuse the rods and everything, and anyways, so it's crazy right now. I am still super pumped to see where this goes. In 10 years, are these Are these EV vehicles that are rated for 400 miles? Do we see them double, triple that? And if that's the case, then it's on. If you can, like when I've taken a trip from here to Arizona and back, I can't do that in an EV vehicle right now. But you get me 800 plus miles in these things, and then yes, because 800 plus miles, the practical version of that is probably 650 practical use applications on this, which that's the next thing that scares me is where are we at with the ratings of this, which is something I haven't paid a ton of attention to, but let's see. B. Warren says, friendly bet, I'm guessing they will break 500-mile range with this F-150. Plenty of room for batteries. Well, let's see, B. Warren. What is the bet? What are we betting there, sir? You want to bet a truck payment on my Gladiator, B. Warren? I think it squeaks just at 400, 405, maybe something like that. Thank you, Kirk. Thank you for the love of the new Jeep Gladiator. We're having a blast in that thing, and I have a bunch more content coming down the channel about that. But once again, if you like the Bronco content, I'm still buying a Bronco. I talked to my dealership about it the other day to see kind of. I'm a day 3 on that. I'm trying to see where I'm at with that, and of course, nobody can give you a solid answer right now. Though I do know, if you're a Bronco fan and got one on order, a buddy of mine supposedly took his hardtop away, went soft top, took his towing hitch away, and his order is going to populate tomorrow. So, though I'm not doing that, I want the hardtop and all that. Josh, what's up, dude? The Gladiator shirt is killing me. Oh man, this isn't fun, honestly. It's I bought this shirt right at the day I brought that home. I bought this shirt and I was like, I've got to toy with the audience a little bit, but if you've seen me, I've wore Bronco shirts under other weird shows, so I like to have fun, man. This is all about fun to me and talking on a bunch of cool cars. I win. I have to do a burnout with the Gladiator and test the limited slip. B. Warren, that thing's not going to do a burnout. That engine is adequate at best. I do have thoughts of maybe opening up the exhaust a little bit. I will say the Gladiator, at a stop sign it has the automatic shut off and all that, which I usually click that off. That thing is super quiet. A lot of times at a red light and I'm talking radio off quiet. I don't know if it's on or not. So, but I'm going to bring some more content with that down the road. I'm going to do some miles, some real world mileage. Once I break, I want to get 1,000 miles on it at least to kind of get that engine broken a little bit. Yes, Josh, of course I'm keeping it older, man. I am everything though. So if you guys think it's just Bronco talk here, like I like them all, man. And my days of being brand loyal, I hate to say, once I decided to go to pursue this full time, or I can't be that brand loyal anymore. So you'll see a bunch of things over the coming years. You're going to see a bunch of cool cars out there. I have some plans. I've done on my Nissan Nation production side channel. I've done some silly cars, Nissan Jukes, that I got 242 horsepower out of that little engine. Had a blast in that car. So I do, if you're new to the channel, I do like to do kind of project builds. And we are 4 minutes, 54 seconds away. The chat over there is going crazy. So I don't even like, on the live reveals, I don't even like the watching the chats anymore because they go so fast you can't keep up with it. And you can put them, as a creator, I can put them in slow motion and they still go too fast. Let's see. Ashley says, I thought about taking the MC top off today, but I'm done playing musical Broncos with Ford. That's me, Ashley. And I think for me, for the channel, because I'm buying that vehicle, much like the Gladiator. I bought the Gladiator strictly for the channel. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to have a blast in it. But I need what most people will buy. That's why I chose a black diamond, even though I know Badlands is super popular right now. I think a couple years down the road, I think black diamond's kind of going to be, as long as they continue to make this trim, it'll be where it's at for the more volume they do. But hardtop it's like 10-1 at the hardtop of what they're doing. So, I don't want to take a chance with that. And I'm going to go ahead and pull into the Lightning broadcast. So I don't want anybody here. Kevin, stop with the Preds losing. Kevin, I've got to send you something today. Oh, so my buddy Kevin there, I have to Oh, Kevin, you're gonna love this, by the way, Kevin. Where is Mr. Kevin? And if you guys ever want to get a hold of me or have any kind of fun news, just it's not Nissan. It's allterrainnationmedia@gmail.com. I know I've had people in the past hit me up. Hey, what's the email? So let's see. See if I can find this for you, Kevin, while we're waiting. Oh, all right. You're going to love this one, Kevin. So, by the way, I'm sending that to my buddy from Nissan, Mr. Kevin there. See what he says when he gets it. It'll be kind of funny. But let's see. Nicholas says Ram just put out a video against the F-150 like they did just now on YouTube. That's great, man. They know how to troll. Like when they released that image of some of the Jeep stuff right before Bronco, they know how to troll like crazy. And I love it. I love that Ram is taking on Ford like that. And their Twitter, they troll them like crazy. They kind of have some fun back and forth. And what's funny about that is you got General Motors over there just like, you know, they're in weird Blazer land right now. They're so disconnected. Let's see. But yes, Ashley, I too am not playing any more musical chairs. Oh, well, let's see. The chat is going nuts over there. Nice, go Wings. I knew you'd like that, Kevin. For those, I was behind somebody in Chick-fil-A's drive-thru today, and it just had Michigan all over it, and Kevin's from Michigan, so. Let's see. We are a minute 41 away. So let's see. Let's get our predictions out of mileage real quick before we drop this thing. I'm saying it's going to squeak past 400. B. Warren says that he thinks it's going to hit 500 miles, which would be pretty gnarly. I think what was this Cybertruck? It was pretty high like that. So maybe you're right, B. Warren. We are 1 minute away, and I guarantee you they do the goofy countdown thing. Usually YouTube, when you do premiere videos and stuff, well, it says it's a live reveal, so maybe. Sometimes they do these goofy countdown things, and it just drives me freaking batty, man. But it's part of YouTube's game. Oh, we went to waiting now. We are about a minute away. So come on, y'all, give me some. Ford sucks as a company. Oh man, Kurt, they're very conservative. Oh, let me know if you guys can hear this. By the way. How many lightning puns? Big old screen there. It's awesome. They're going all out on this. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ford Lightning.
We brought the car to the American people. Then we built them a truck. A hard-working partner with an unbreakable handshake. The tool that turned American spirit into American progress. But the American spirit is a restless storm. And we're riding out to meet it. Driven by a century of innovation to help build a better world. It's time to stop thinking about the future and get ready for today. It's time to bring the lightning.
Please welcome Bill Ford, Executive Chair, Ford Motor Company.
Well, good evening and welcome to Dearborn, home of the Ford Motor Company. As we mark this pivotal moment in our history, I'm so excited and proud to be joined by our employees, our UAW partners, our dealers, customers, media, and everyone who's joining us around the world. Many of you have been part of the Ford family for generations. And in many ways, this event and what you will see tonight is a generational celebration. More than a century ago, Dearborn became the epicenter of American ingenuity and progress. This is where the Industrial Revolution took hold. This is where we unlocked one of the most important rights we have in this country, the freedom to move and to pursue dreams. And Dearborn is where, 73 years ago, the first F-Series rolled off our assembly line. From the very beginning, the F-Series has always been more than just a truck. It became a symbol for American strength, endurance, and resilience. And that's why the F-Series has been the best-selling truck in the world for the past 44 years. Part of what makes it so special is that we never stop working to make it even better. And when we committed to making an electrified truck, we set an incredibly high bar for success. It had to be good enough to be called F-150. The F-150 is the world's most popular and trusted truck.
What's up, Austin?
And the F-150 Lightning will be the smartest, cleanest F-150 ever. And it's pretty powerful. In fact, just yesterday, President Biden was in Dearborn, and somehow he convinced the Secret Service to let him drive the truck on our test track. He had a blast, and he left some rubber on the track. Now, there's no doubt that this truck is powerful, but it's also a showcase of what's to come from Ford. We're just as dedicated to delivering for our customers as my great-grandfather was when he invented the assembly line over 100 years ago. And that's what today is all about.
Where's my Bronco?
Reinvention
Right?
and improvement, forward and upward. Technology, not for its own sake, but to make people's lives better. As America's favorite vehicle is now electrified, this is a defining moment for our company, a watershed moment for our industry, and on a personal level, it's really gratifying for me. It's a truck that will usher in a cleaner future for our country, and it will fulfill our promise to our children and our grandchildren that our generation is committed to leaving them a cleaner planet. 2.5 years ago, we celebrated the 100th anniversary of the Rouge, and I promised our employees that one day, when we built an all-electric F-150, we'd do it right here in Dearborn, which is why we're building it at the Rouge in a plant that is environmentally progressive as the F-150 Lightning is itself. And the Rouge is more than just a factory. It's been a source of pride and opportunity for generations of workers. And when many in Ford wanted to abandon the Rouge as it fell into disrepair years ago, I decided to make it the greenest plant in the country. The F-150 Lightning will be built in America and for America, because Ford is built for America. We employ more hourly workers and assemble more vehicles in the U.S. than any other automaker. As I see so many of our employees here tonight, I'm reminded that they are what makes us different, and they are what set us apart from other companies. And they will continue our proud tradition of innovation at the Ford Motor Company. This is a historic day for our company. It's an important day for the future of our country, and I am so proud to be able to share it with all of you. Thank you so much. And now, I'd like to introduce Gerald Kareem, Vice President of our UAW Ford Department. Gerald?
Definitely pushing a lot of heritage. We've seen already a couple weeks ago. It's really cool. I do like that they're talking about keeping it in America. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But for how long? That's the next key. How long?
Thank you, Bill. I am so pleased to be here today for this exciting event with Bill, Jim, Linda, and all of you to announce the all-electric F-150 Lightning. As we all know, the F-Series is America's best-selling vehicle, and I know that our members are so proud to be the workers whose hard work and dedication will build this vehicle of the future. And I want to recognize each and every one of them. I am so proud of my UAW brothers and sisters. I want to recognize Bill Ford for his early vision and focus on sustainability, and Jim Farley for his dedication, forward-looking perspective on what the future of auto must be. And Linda Zane, the engineer who worked with our UAW brothers and sisters to make this F-150 Lightning a world-class vehicle of the future. This is truly a partnership, a long-standing, strong partnership of respect and vision.
That's really, really cool.
And I'd also like to recognize UAW President Roy L. Gamble, a member of UAW Local 600, for his leadership on his home turf. Region 1A Director Chuck Browning, as well as my top aide, Steve Zimmerler, who are with us here tonight. And of course, Bernie Rickey of UAW Local 600 and Nick Catalyst, chair of Dearborn Truck, and their officers and teams.
They can't have anybody upset they didn't get their name called out.
Today's investment is not just an investment of technology and money.
I can guarantee you that.
It is far more than that. It is an investment in the future of UAW Ford workers and their families. It is an investment in technologies that will create sustainability. Let me say a few words about the workers who come to work every day and put their talent and sweat into building the F-150. About 4,400 UAW represented hourly workers build these vehicles. And I know my brothers and sisters believe in the work they do, forging vehicles that will contribute to the better future for us all. As we look forward, as we look toward that future, much has been said about the transition to new technologies, and we are all working our way through this monumental shift. We remain proud and excited to build this iconic F-150 Lightning. On behalf of the workers who build this new electric vehicle and our partners here this evening, we launch a new chapter of UAW Ford innovations in sustainability and good jobs. Today is a good day for Ford, the UAW, and our nation. It now gives me great pleasure
they're taking pre-orders.
to
I guarantee you
introduce
that.
the all-new F-150 Lightning. Let's take a look.
So the UAW gets to reveal this?
By now, we've all heard a lot of talk, a lot of promises.
1, 2, 3.
A lot of lengthy descriptions about what electric is.
4, 5.
We think it's time to see what it can do. It's time for electric to turn into lightning. An electric truck that can match the ambitions of this nation. That can haul on both ends. That shows up to the job site with an extensive resume. That can help build your house. And if need be, power that house. That puts a big, ridiculous smile on your face every time you hit the accelerator. That feels like a bullet train and works like a freight train. The only EV quick enough, tough enough, smart enough to carry our name. The only EV that's an F-150. The fully electric F-150 Lightning. Remember where you were when you heard about it.
Hope it doesn't do like Infinity did, where they were announcing their electric vehicle at a car show a few years ago, and they couldn't get it to get on stage. It was quite great. It would be funny though. There we go. Everything we've already seen, but the background is awesome though.
Here it is, the all-new, all-electric, all-capable F-150 Lightning. I'm Linda Zhang. Tonight feels like a dream come true for me. It's a dream that started when I was 8 years old and rolled in a car for the first time.
Every time these things
just
are always
after my
the same.
family moved
When I was
to
8 years
America
old,
to
I saw
start a
this
new
first
life.
car. The stories are all the
11
same.
years after that day, I joined Ford when I was 19. And now I feel so fortunate
light bar is
to have
cool, but
led
just a
an
little- they could've
amazing
thinned it down
team
just a little bit, I
that
feel
worked
like.
day and night for the past 3 years to create the truck of the future, F-150 Lightning. Anything is possible when you dream big, and that's what we did. So let me tell you why F-150 Lightning is like no other truck. Building on over a century of truck know-how, we unlocked the full potential of EV technology. And wherever we saw the opportunity to improve,
I'm with you.
we took it.
Just another F-150.
Jim will tell you about the drive experience. But with its low center of gravity and perfect weight balance, this is the best handling F-150 ever.
I would hope so. You got
And
all your
it
weight
has
at
the
the very bottom.
fastest acceleration of any F-150. To harness that performance, F-150 Lightning features 4 selectable drive modes: normal, sport, off-road, and tow haul, and is always 4x4. Plus, the ownership
Not doing a two-wheel
experience
drive
is
version.
packed with advantages only Ford EVs offer. You get revolutionary power, on-the-go, available features like enhanced Pro Power on board
Are they not gonna tell us
delivers
the
up to
horsepower?
9.6 kilowatts, available at 21 charge points around the truck, including 11 outlets, enough to power an awesome tailgate or an entire
every
website.
iPod, everything you own need charged
And
at
at
once?
home,
The F-150.
intelligent backup power makes the F-150 Lightning your own personal power plant, automatically powering your house for 3 days
They're going to
during
play
an
that
outage.
up, and that's only due to
This is a
like
first
the last
for
storm
an EV
that
truck.
I believe we had. They really
There's
are playing that up.
storage
That people
under the
are using
hood
the power
like
of
you've
those
never
for that.
seen before, and a standard full-size bed. Inside, F-150 Lightning comes as a super crew with plenty of room for 5. F-150 Lightning offers an ingenious array of connected, intelligent features. With enhanced zone lighting all around the truck, you can find your tools or light up your campsite. Available onboard scales analyze your payload. While
That is true,
Ford
Frank. The other
Intelligent
Lightnings did
Range
look like-
pulls in factors like that
they were
payload
cool.
alongside weather, traffic, and towing information to accurately calculate your range. And with Ford Pass, Power My Trip will identify charging routes before even starting your journey. Not only do you get a 12-inch digital cluster, you can also get a massive 15.5-inch center screen running Sync 4A, which puts control of this connected truck at your fingertips. Plus, a suite of new tools like Smart Hitch and Pro Trailer Hitch Assist means that towing doesn't need to be a 2-person job. It's also the only electric pickup that's built Ford tough, dependable and torture tested
stupid.
with an all-new
only EV
frame
built Ford
which
tough.
uses the strongest steel ever in an F-150. This is a truck that can tow up to 10,000 pounds up a brutal hill in extreme heat or cold. Rugged underbody protection keeps the battery safe with metal skid plates shielding both the battery and inboard motors from tough terrain. The battery itself is secure inside a waterproof casing surrounded by crash absorption protection, which all adds up to excellent
No, Austin,
off-road
these will be
performance.
all independent suspension.
This is the smartest, most innovative F-150 Ford has ever built, designed to bring our customers what we believe is the best driving and ownership experience on the planet with 0 emissions.
If we can get them
I'll
built.
hand it over now to our president and CEO, Jim Farley, to tell you more.
Is that what they
Thank
said,
you.
Kevin? 75 miles? I didn't know that. 10,000 pounds of towing is not. They're saying they were claiming, I forget, 100,000 pounds or something stupid that it was supposed to be able to 2 years ago. Let's see what old Jim says here.
Well, thank you, Linda. I also wanted to thank Bill Ford, Gerald Kareem, and this incredible team that made this evening possible. This is what passion of the Ford Motor Company can do. This is American innovation, and this is a moment of tremendous pride for all of us at Ford. This revolutionary truck will be built just a couple of miles away from here at the Rouge, where my grandfather and so many others were proud to punch in every day, as Gerald said. You heard the
He waved
specs
to the
and details from Linda. She's terrific.
Hey,
But I
truck.
want to tell you what it actually feels like to drive this truck. You know, I've been lucky enough to be involved with lots of amazing vehicles in my career with a
Bet
few
it
brands.
feels like driving a truck.
But this truck is totally different. Bill Ford and I went to the test track recently to drive an advanced prototype. And even though I was pretty close to the development of the F-150 Lightning, I was completely blown away. It's like no pickup truck I have ever driven. The driving experience is a complete thrill. We're targeting 770 foot-pounds of torque
There you go. Torque.
and just under 600 horsepower. The 0 to 60 for this truck is in the mid 4-second range. That's quicker than the Raptor. And it's a lot quicker than the original SVT Lightning performance truck. But what makes it so unique is it's so quick, but it's super quiet inside and so smooth. It's got a totally new independent rear suspension. As Linda said, standard 4-wheel drive and a very low center of gravity because of the batteries. It hauls ass and tows like a beast. Metaphorically, it might as well have a Superman cape and a Captain America shield. Now, if you lose power at home, like the ice storms in Texas, the F-150 Lightning will power your house for day upon day upon day. And it's all seamless and controlled through your phone on the Ford Pass app. And then there's the Mega Power Frunk. It's a whole new automotive term. You press a button and the whole front of the truck opens. And it's amazing.
Actually,
400 liters of space, 400 pounds of payload up there, 4 plugs to power your tools at a work site, your Traeger grill, your flat screen TV, your mini fridge at the tailgate. And the cabin is a perfect blend of luxury. No one does luxury like the F-150, but technology and lots of clever features. And boy, do we have technology, including a true hands-free highway driving system we call Ford Blue Cruise. The
Wow, so it will get
F-150
Blue
Lightning will just get better and better every day, every month, every year with the over-there updates that we call Ford Power-Ups. They'll fix bugs, continually improve the user experience, and add completely new features and technologies. Now, range will never be a concern with this truck. You charge it overnight,
300-mile
and with the extended range
Wow,
batteries,
that
we
is
put
weak.
as standard
That
dual onboard
is
chargers that
extremely
make the
weak.
charging
No
go
wonder they
really
left
fast.
that to the end.
And you roll out in the morning with the electric equivalent of a full tank of gas. And if you need to charge
Frunk
on the
it.
go,
I like it,
you'll have
Ashley.
access to the largest public charging network in North America, thanks to Ford. Now, a lot of people would think with all of that, all of those features, all that capability, all that
That's
technology,
horrible.
that this
300
would be a
miles.
6-figure trophy truck. And I'm proud to say
It's 9.
we worked really hard.
999.
And this F-150 Lightning
it's
starts
horrible.
at just under $40,000.
But you'll never find one at $40,000. I guarantee you that.
And that's before you get your federal or state tax credits. And if you're a commercial customer, we have an F-150 Lightning just for you. It offers the lowest cost of ownership of any truck we've ever made. It needs less maintenance because it has 40% less moving parts and powertrain. And of course, you never have to stop at the gas station.
I'm sure dealers
But
like
this
the
is
fact
just
that,
one part
less
of the
moving
Ford
parts.
plan, as Bill said, to lead the electric revolution. Let's take a look. So right next to me is the Mustang Mach-E that has
calling it
redefined the American muscle
I
car
wish they'd
for
just
the
call that the
electric era.
Mach-E. It
People
looks
see
great in
it,
person, though. I'm not crapping
drive it,
because that car is a good
and then they
vehicle,
buy
I
it.
think.
70% of the people who have ordered the Mustang Mach-E are brand new to Ford. Now, for all of you here tonight who really like speed, this is your lucky day, because this is the new GT performance version of the Mustang Mach-E. It's much faster than the one that we've already launched. It looks great. It is fantastic to drive.
It's a good
And over
looking car.
there is the backbone of business, the most innovative and genius version of the #1 commercial van, not just in the US, but in the world. Now that E-Transit will launch later this year, here and in Europe.
Yep, you're right, Kevin.
And there's the F-150 Lightning. Now this truck represents all that our country can do when we push for progress, as Bill said. So that's the end of this show. But frankly, it's just the beginning of a whole new era at Ford. Please take a look at this closing video. And for more information, to reserve your F-150 Lightning, you got to go to Ford.com. It's only going to cost you $100 to make a reservation. So thank you for sharing this incredibly special evening with all of us. Good night, and thank you.
Well, there you have it, guys. Watch this little end of this video so we can all be excited to drop $100 down. And in the morning, they're going to tell you about how popular this thing was and how many pre-sales they got for it. $300 miles of range. That's pretty poor. There you go. Go to Ford.com if you would like to reserve yours today. And let's talk about this for a few minutes. Let's break this one down because that's an interesting truck. It looks like a truck, which is, I think, for Ford, I think it looking like a real F-150, that was a big win for Ford on that. You got to make it look. You've got too many mom and pops, too many older generation people who do not want some futuristic Cybertruck. So we knew it was going to look like a truck. What was it? 600 horsepower, 700 foot-pounds of torque. But the biggest takeaway from this tonight is the poor 300-mile range. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it at all because you got Cybertruck who's already claimed 400, 450. Let me pull up Tesla real quick because I think Elon and them are laughing right now. Let's see. Let's see. So Tesla Cybertruck is a 300+ mile range. Let me go to this though because I want to say there was a better. I haven't been on their site in a while. Just bear with me here real quick. I want to say they nearly had a 400-mile range on one of these on the tri-motor maybe. Let's see dual motor Tesla is 4.5 seconds 0 to 60. 300+ miles EPA. I was thinking it was more than that. What was the trial? Yes. So the tri-motor all-wheel drive Tesla range is 500+. So yeah, whatever you think of the Cybertruck, their Cybertruck's claiming 10,000 pounds of towing, autopilot if I could say it. Tesla's Cybertruck autopilot is standard with the dual motor. And this is what you have to compare it to. You don't compare it to the single engine rear-wheel drive because Ford's already come out and said this is basically an all-wheel drive. They call it four-wheel drive, but it's all-wheel drive. Let's see any other things to stand out. No, so I guess if they're using Tesla as the kind of benchmark, they've met the benchmark. 4.5 seconds, 4.4 seconds, or whatever the president said the other day. I don't care about. I don't buy a truck because I'm interested in how quick. Yeah, you will when you buy it from the. Okay, so let's rephrase this. You'll go buy one of these things, and you're gonna go to all your buddies and say, "Yeah, man, you want to race?" That's gonna get old real quick. Then it's gonna set in the fact that I've got a 300-mile range. Then it's gonna set in once you start putting weight. More than one person in the vehicle. We didn't get any payload numbers or anything, but once you put ass to seats and then haul anything, you're at 225, and that's a perfect battery situation. So, and then yeah, like Kevin was saying there, 10,000 pounds towing, which is what the Tesla Cybertruck is saying. That ain't going to get it done either because you already told people that this thing could tow 100,000 pounds or whatever it was. Ridiculous number, which is we all knew back then it was, that's just fluff. 10,000 pounds that's a pretty common for what the F-150 now is like 12,000, I think. But can it do it safely? Who knows? What else kind of stood out? The 600 horsepower, 700 foot-pounds of torque. Those are big numbers, and they're impressive till you use torque. Electric motors, which I like electric vehicles. I'm not crapping on it. But the battery life, you almost take it in half. You almost cut it in half with the battery life. And while once again, it looks like a truck, you get inside of the thing, it looks like a truck, except you got a 50-inch plasma monitor in the middle of it, which is cool. But I don't think it's going to quack like a duck should. I just think that it was where I was expecting this thing to be. Once again, I think it's a beautiful looking truck. I think that light bar that goes around the front grille could be a little thinner, almost half. I think would be a lot cooler looking, but I'm sure there's a reasoning behind it, I'm sure. Whether it be, the weird daytime running lights that it is. I'm sure there's probably some weird federal thing that comes out that Ford was ahead of the game. Whatever. That doesn't sell me on the vehicle. It looked cool for a picture, but after that, does that still, like would you be proud that you had this big light bar? I guess you're Overlander. Maybe they're looking for the overlanding crowd right now. This way they don't have to shove more light bars on them. They can just have it right in the grill. But let's talk about this for a few minutes. Bring your questions or comments, what you thought about it. Let's go ahead and caller 1, you're on the line with All-Terrain Nation. And let's see. Kevin A says, plus in the winter, raining, running the heat, radio, etc., drains the battery. Yes. And Kevin, you would know about those battery issues. I know Tesla's claiming there's going to be a big jump in battery tech. I don't know what they've got going on. I know the guy that developed the lithium battery. There's a new glass technology for the batteries that they're working on. I still think it's 10 years away, though. And it supposedly doubles, if not triples, battery life. But I just think that it was a little weak, is what I think. But let's see. MPG says, I like the looks of the front end of it. I agree. It looks a lot like an F-150 should, or like a Ford truck should. My beef is, and it's not, who am I to say, but I just feel like that the light bar around it could just been a little thinner. Ashley says, I can't see it lighting a whole house for days. Actually, when they had the power boost came out this past year, and then the storms hit in Texas and stuff, and even my buddy with pickup trucks and SUV talks powered his basic stuff. Now, not a whole running house, but basic stuff. He powered his for a good day and a half, and that's the hybrid version. So I think it can do it. But Joe Japan says, what's the identity of the truck? Fuel efficiency or performance? Well, there's no fuel involved, Joe. So I guess it's performance right now. The original, I cannot talk tonight. The original Lightning's heritage is performance of a street truck. I would agree with that, but I think this name's just been completely repurposed. I don't think that you take into account the history of what Lightning stands for. It does look kind of like a unibrow. Let's see. Frank B says they should have marketed this truck as a street performance vehicle like the original Lightnings were. I can see that. Let's see. Kevin GR, it will make a great city work truck. No gas bill needed for a generator. I can see that, Kevin. I see the idea behind it. But say this, and maybe we'll get further in this when they release more numbers, but everything runs off batteries now. So you got skill saws and all this stuff. Say you brought it out to a job site, which is really cool that you have all those plugins, by the way. But say it's the charge the most, say your trip to get to your job site, because I don't know anybody that works in home construction that doesn't drive 40 miles or plus each way. You never build it's never a perfect situation where you're building right down the street. So 300 miles is fully charged. Take off 40 to get you there, say 40 to get you back. There's 80 miles of that gone. Then what do these tools use that you might want to run this stuff off of? They're very torquey electric motors and all that stuff. So there's going to be a good draw to that. Do you knock off another 100 miles maybe? I don't know. And I'm just asking the question right now because I do not know exactly how much. If you were to use all, 12 or something in the back, you're using all of that on a home site. And what is the draw from that? I like the idea of these things, though. Don't get me wrong. I think it's really cool that it's very practical too. I just don't know that this stuff is ready for contractors. But they have to push it that way because Ford F-150 sales, they rely heavily on commercial sales. You know, yes, they're the king of the mountain for sales, but it's a close. If GM would piece Chevy and GMC together, it would be almost neck and neck tie. But I am curious because I'm an engineer, land surveyor, so I'm on construction sites all the time, and I do see people using, that's the biggest thing in a new subdivision when they don't have everything's not powered yet, so they have no plug-in. So they use generators quite a bit on some of these sites that I work at, and it's pretty neat that you can do that. So let's see, Ramesh, what is going on, buddy? Where was Ramesh? It looks much better than I thought it actually would, but I'm never going to buy an electric truck. I think we're all going to be in electric vehicles another 30 years down the road. I don't think we're going to have much of a choice in that. I have a 2019 Expedition, and it's great. It's a great vehicle. It would be so amazing to have a truck bed, and then, the front truck. I would trade my Expedition for that truck. That is cool, man. Yeah, definitely. You're getting a lot of features. It is kind of like a reverse SUV of sorts, really, with a truck bed. So not all SUVs have a lot of trunk space, but that's kind of cool. It did sort of look odd, Frank B says. I will admit that, but I'm the guy who likes the Canoe pickup truck. So I'm the guy that likes this thing. So who am I to say what looks odd? But for me, this is weird enough to be electric, but it's probably, depending on their batteries in the end of the day, probably just cool enough to win out the quirky people. But let's see. What other questions we got going on here? Let's see. Why? This is why I say real workers will not buy this truck, Kevin says. So Joe Japan has said, yes, I'm used to saying fuel in front of efficiency. How about electric efficiency? It just sounds so weird. Let's see. Is it just me, or does the 15-inch screen look out of place? I think that's a big problem with a lot of that stuff, Joe, is even to me in the Tesla, and it's cool. Even in the Ram. The Ram almost looks, that 12-inch screen they put in it. It looks good, but it does look weird. But I think we're in the final golden age of gasoline-powered vehicles. So we're going to have to shift past what we think is the norm now, with the radio always in the same spot or the controls always in the same spots. I think it's Grumpy Bear Dave here. I've got to look past the norms now. There are no new norms with a lot of vehicles. For EV vehicles, I think Tesla's probably kind of set the standard of norms for what you can expect. But I think people that like this, they want that clean look. But I think Ford was smart enough to go, we're still relying on our older base of people who buy these things to want to buy this. Yes, the self-driving feature does sound cool. I agree, and I think thank you, David. I think the self-driving features are going to be pretty standard. I think in 25 years, I think you rarely drive unless you're just doing some fun adventure driving. I really do, and that's why EV. I think really in 20 years, you're limited to choices for any car or truck. I think EV, everybody's rushing to be the leader in that. But at the end of the day, I think all these companies have to either they just fall apart and die, or they all just in some big conglomerate where you don't get much choice anymore. Because at the end of the day, all this tech is really, really cool. But look at your home computer if you have one. This iPhone. My first computer had a gig of memory. The hard drive was a gig hard drive, and I thought, I'll never use that much space, ever. And that was 1994, I think. And now that's a joke Like my daughter wouldn't even know how to understand just a gig of memory. I think a lot of these vehicles now are getting to be, they're going to be throwaway vehicles as well. I think when the batteries wear out, you just recycle that thing and you move on to the next thing. And I think for all the EV, the coolness about EV and it being clean, at some point, if you convert everybody to these things, you got to recycle this stuff at some point. So, look at one of the guys with Tesla. He went and moved into recycling the batteries. He left Tesla to come up with his own company for that because he's seen the writing on the wall with that stuff. I don't know. I'm indifferent about it, but I'm also excited about it. Let's see them. Did they give a date or a what did they call it? Did they give a model year for this? Because I did not hear that as well. Let's go over to Ford and find out if their website is up, because when Bronco launched, it crashed the site. So Ford, let's do this together. Here, we'll do this together. Bam, there you go. All right, the new F-150 Lightning. Notice there's not a year on that. So let's dig in deeper. And I sound snarky about it. Oh, look, it's that thing that we can't seem to actually build, the Bronco. And guys, yes, I know I get comments all the time. Hey, there's a pandemic. Yes, I do understand that. Let's see the power of electric. Let me adjust this screen real quick so we can all enjoy this together. So bear with me. Damn it. Back in my day, EV was just EV. You didn't have all this. You just had, it wasn't as... I feel like grumpy old man with EV. Yeah. We didn't... Bear with me, guys. I am adjusting this real quick. Bam. There we go. All right, so this is their launch page of it. Reserve now. Let's see what happens when we... Oh, it's a 22. There you go. Okay, finally, I see a date on it. I was curious about that. Let's see. Reserve your F-150 Lightning. Be among the first to own the all-new 2022 Ford F-150 Lightning. Just fill out the reservation form, choose your dealer, and make a reservation. The entry model starts at $39,974. Commercial vehicle oriented. Notice that. Commercial vehicle oriented starts there. The more equipped mid-series XLT starts at $52,974. Offering additional comfort and technology. And the MSRP rounds up to $90,000. $90,000. And what do you want to bet? The ones they were showing were $90,000. Let's see. Reserve now. So we could place our orders and reserve now and all that fun stuff. But I'm not. I can tell you right now, like, as much, and I like the reveal of it. I thought it was good. I always like when Bryan Cranston's doing their reveals now. I like that a lot. He's got this kind of grandpa-y voice or something. It's just a soothing, calming voice. And we can, this is great right here. Potential. Because you know why it's potential? Because Ford, once they sell, I forget the number that each company gets to sell. But once they reach a certain point, there are no tax credits. You might get some state credits still. Let's see what the little... All right, here we go. You may qualify for that $7,500 tax credit for purchasing an all-new Ford F-150 vehicle. The tax credit is a potential future tax savings. It's not been certified, so they had to put the little disclaimer. But is there anything else? Put it through the paces. Targeted. See, when they use the word targeted, that means they don't even have it. It's not even there yet. Oh, man. Targeted means if we miss it, we just missed it, right? Let's see. Oh, targeted 2,000 pounds of payload. Driver modes. That center console looks really, really cool. I will say that looks pretty boss. Powerful acceleration. with extended battery range, it has a targeted 563 horsepower. Now, where's the 600 horsepower they were talking about? And 770 foot-pounds of torque. Since the all-electric motor can crank out an impressive amount of torque, basically 0 RPMs, with extended battery range, it can accelerate faster than ever. Who cares? It's just dumb. So that's not a lot to go on this website. Here's the thing too. If this thing's a 22, and we'll say it's a 22 because that's what Ford is saying it. Where does that put this thing into the design queue of when they actually build it? And where is the F-150 then? Because Ford has a real knack for redesigning things. About every 2.5 to 3 years, you get kind of a new grille in their trucks. Is this thing, by the time you get it in 22, and we're kind of winding down a pandemic, but that we're in the hiccup of parts right now. They're saying 22, but is it like the Bronco where they say it was going to be a 21, but I don't think anybody actually gets their Broncos, and they're building them now slowly. I don't think the end of June, July. I mean, usually companies by July are switching to getting ready. Well, by August, they're switching to the next model year. I don't know on that one. I know they've been working at this plant to make it ready for quite a long time. Ford with their buttons here, these are great. I forget, Doug DeMuro or somebody did a nice discussion on how easy it was to use that, the power button and the reasoning for the way they've done that. Let's see. What else we got going on here? So that's about their website on that. It's pretty plain. We could sign up for updates. We've got charging covered. It says backed by the largest charging network in North America, which I think they've rented out some companies' charging ports, because I know they haven't did their own. Tesla's done their own. Power backup. I actually like that a lot. Advanced power on board. Let's see. Turn your truck into a generator. Let's see. 11 outlets, no matter what the job. Bed also features a 240 outlet for the tougher tasks at hand. Oh, cool. We can hook up our washer and dryer to this thing. Let's see. Software updates. They were proud of that, but you kind of expect that. The Blue Cruise is really nice. Power for my trip, where it's going to go find I think Tesla already does this. It already programs the what doesn't program, it just knows where the key spots are for charging. So they're definitely taking on Tesla in this thing. And let's see. 21.5, Kevin. I would agree. I can already hear the dash creaking away. He said less than 600 horsepower. Okay, I was curious about that. I didn't catch that exactly. Yes, the rear is going to be independent suspension. What happens when you put a load in the bed? Tires camber in? Good question, man. I'm sure they've thought of that. Up to 90K. Ouch. That's for the 300-mile one. That is correct, B. Warren. MGP says spring of 22. Okay, that's not bad. Small print says spring of 22, 22, 22. Okay, got that. My first computer was a VIC-20, 24 kilobytes. That's great. Let's see. Ashley, a lot of companies that make parts for gas-powered trucks are going to be pissed. That is something to think about, Ashley, because, and this is happening no matter what. But Ford was really then they had the UAW up there really bragging about building these things. But at some point, you're not going to need engine plants, and Ford does not build these electric motors. And I don't know that Ford's building the batteries right now. I'd have to look into it, and I'm probably speaking out of my ass on that. But there's a lot of going to be workers out of a job at some point. Now there's still parts to be made on these things, the dashes and stuff. Most people don't realize Ford doesn't make the dashes and these. It's all subcontracted out. The dashes, they assemble them, goes to the line. I know the way Nissan works is they have a lot of subcontractors actually in the plants that assemble a lot of this stuff and just build it for for them. I know framing, for Nissan, there was a separate framing company that built the frames by the plant. But yes, you're definitely. I think there's going to be a lot of people out of work one day that was used to those big jobs like that. But who's to say? Let's see. Looks like that cactus gray may be on there. It's hard to tell. A lot of cool colors on this thing. I'm going to sit with this one a couple days before I kind of give my. Oh, thanks, Christian. Yes, definitely save the manuals. I guess the manual on an EV is push the button manually until they get tired of that, and then you're just going to say drive, and then the car does its own thing. One final thought, too, on these. Tesla's been big about pushing for car rental, basically. Does that mean, like, one day, 20 years, we need a truck? We just hit up your Ford app, and a truck pops out in front of your doorstep. I did have a video drop a week or so ago where I think dealers are going to be extinct one of these days. And I think things like this are going to hurt dealers a little bit because, they said it in the video, 40% less moving parts. What's there going to be to service on these things? I mean, you're going to have things that need to be serviced, but EV motors, that's I'm looking at it as at a simplest form, but plug and play. Wears out, you drop a new one in, pretty easy. Not a lot of probably vacuum lines or whatever they're using. There's not a lot of that stuff. Just high powered cables. Obviously paint, stuff like that. There's always going to crash one of these things. There's body shops that will be needed for that. But I feel like electric vehicles are going to shrink the dealerships. And I think at some point Ford and all these companies are just going to sell the vehicles themselves. They've proven with Bronco. Look at all the pre-sales they got. The only thing they needed the dealership for really was a follow-up maybe the next day. And these things, I'll be curious to see how many get reserved. So there you go, guys. There is the F150 Lightning. Smash that like button if you haven't yet. It helps this content get to new people who might just found the channel. And if you're new to the channel, I do appreciate it. And hopefully I've earned your subscription. Sometimes I have my partner here, Danny, who we back and forth on this. Danny's a race car driver, so he's okay with EV, but I don't think Danny would be all excited by these like we would. I think Friday. Let me see. I got to check my schedule real quick because I want to say I was planning a live show Friday. Yes, we will be live this Friday, so I'm going to try to get Danny on here and we'll talk about this a little bit. And I know Danny's trying to have one of the owners of a largest dealership, a Ford dealership in Southern California on the show, so might be a fun time to actually get to talk to Dan and the potential interview we have. So there you go, guys. That was our no modifying electric cars. I think you're MPG. I think the hackers would find a way to modify these things a little bit. But there is our Lightning F150, and thank you guys so much for being a part of this. I do appreciate it. Once again, if you'll smash that like button, that just helps the channel grow. So, and I appreciate it. And once again, I hope I've earned your subscription. If you're new, I'm a unique take of journalist. Plus, I'm just a fan of cars. I'm not just some pretentious dick that just thinks he can write about cars or knows everything about cars. That's why I wanted to do this in front of you guys. I wanted to learn about this as you guys learned it. I didn't want any of the media kits. I just wanted to be, an average Joe. So there you go. So from all things two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, it does not matter what you drive, be electric or gasoline or diesel. Because this is your All-Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, and we are what, everybody? We are out. Peace, everybody.